Did you know that 85% of adults over age 80 have some form of cardiovascular disease? Yet most seniors never learn about the one meal that could help reverse years of arterial damage. I am Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a cardiovascular specialist with over 20 years of experience treating seniors with heart conditions. If you have been struggling with high blood pressure, chest discomfort, or fatigue that seems to worsen each year, this video will change everything. By the end, you will know exactly what to eat to start clearing your arteries naturally, backed by the latest scientific research from Harvard and the American Heart Association. Comment below what your biggest heart health concern is right now. I will be replying to each one. Here is what happens when plaque builds up inside your arteries. Think of your arteries like water pipes in your home. When they are clean and smooth, blood flows freely to every organ. But when fatty deposits called plaque accumulate on artery walls, those pipes narrow. This narrowing forces your heart to pump harder just to push blood through. The American Heart Association reports that in 2025, over 919,000 Americans died from cardiovascular disease. That is 1 in every 3 deaths. For seniors over 60, the statistics become even more alarming. Recent data from the 2025 Heart Disease and Stroke Statistics Update shows that 85.9% of men and 85.1% of women over 80 have cardiovascular disease. But here is the shocking part most people do not know. Arterial plaque does not just happen overnight. It builds silently for decades, often without symptoms until you experience a heart attack or stroke. Many seniors walk around with 70% blocked arteries and feel perfectly fine until that one day when everything changes. The consequences of untreated arterial plaque follow a predictable timeline. In early stages, you might notice you cannot climb stairs like you used to. Walking to the mailbox leaves you winded. Your doctor tells you your blood pressure is creeping up. Over the next few years, the narrowing worsens. Your heart muscles start suffering from reduced blood flow, becoming weaker. Simple activities become exhausting. You stop doing things you love because your body cannot keep up. Eventually, a piece of that plaque can rupture, forming a blood clot that completely blocks the artery. This is when heart attacks and strokes happen. The damage can be permanent, affecting your independence and quality of life. Many seniors go from independent living to needing full-time care, all because of something that could have been addressed through diet years earlier. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher who came to see me 3 years ago. She had been experiencing chest tightness whenever she walked her dog. Her previous doctor had started her on 2 blood pressure medications and a statin, but Margaret still felt like she was declining. She told me her body was giving up. Her energy was gone. She could not play with her grandchildren without getting exhausted. Gardening, something she loved her entire life, became impossible because she would feel dizzy and short of breath. Tests revealed significant blockages in her coronary arteries, approximately 65% narrowing in her main vessels. Margaret was scared. She thought her only option was invasive procedures or living with worse symptoms. I explained that research shows dietary changes can actually reverse arterial plaque buildup. She was skeptical. How could food be more powerful than pills? But Margaret was desperate. I designed a specific meal plan focused on foods that studies have proven reduce plaque and improve arterial function. Within 2 weeks, Margaret noticed something remarkable. Her energy started returning. She could walk further without chest discomfort. By 3 months, her blood pressure dropped enough that we reduced 1 medication. After 1 year of consistent eating, repeat imaging showed her arterial plaque had decreased from 65% to 52%. More importantly, Margaret got her life back. She now gardens for hours, plays with her grandkids, and recently told me she feels better at 75 than she did at 70. Before I reveal the specific foods that saved Margaret, you need to understand what has been making your arteries worse. Many seniors unknowingly consume foods every day that accelerate plaque buildup. First, processed meats. I'm talking about bacon, sausage, deli meats, and hot dogs. Here is what happens when you consume these. They contain extremely high levels of sodium and saturated fat, but that is not the worst part. Processed meats are loaded with preservatives called nitrates and nitrites. When these interact with proteins in your body, they form substances that damage artery lining. A 2021 study from University of California, Davis found that foods high in saturated fat and choline increase metabolites that directly build plaques in arteries. Even lean deli turkey contains high sodium. Just 2 ounces of deli meat, about 3 thin slices, can contain over 600 milligrams of sodium. That is nearly 1/3 of the recommended daily limit. Comment guilty if you have been eating processed meats regularly. Do not worry, you are about to learn how to fix it. Second, fried foods and anything cooked in vegetable oils at high heat. This includes French fries, fried chicken, donuts, and potato chips. When oils are heated to high temperatures, they undergo chemical transformation. Here is what happens when you eat these foods. High heat cooking creates compounds called advanced glycation end products and trans fats, even in oils claiming to be trans fat free. These damaged fats are incredibly inflammatory. They trigger an immune response inside your arteries. White blood cells rush to artery walls to deal with the perceived threat. This creates inflammation, which is the starting point of plaque formation. A review published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology in 2025 confirmed that inflammation is a primary driver of atherosclerosis. Third, refined carbohydrates and sugary foods. This includes white bread, white rice, pasta, pastries, cookies, and sweetened beverages. You might think these are harmless because they are fat-free, but they are actually one of the worst offenders. Here is what happens when you consume refined carbohydrates. They break down rapidly into sugar in your bloodstream, causing sharp spikes in blood glucose and insulin. These repeated glucose spikes damage endothelial cells that line your arteries. Think of it like sandpaper rubbing against the inside of your blood vessels every time blood sugar shoots up. Research published in Nature in 2025 found that diets high in refined carbohydrates significantly increased markers of arterial disease. But here is the hidden disaster. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing glucose. Blood sugar spikes from refined carbs are even more dramatic and damaging in seniors than in younger people. Before I reveal the solutions, which of these surprised you most? Comment below. Now let me share the solution. These are specific foods that research has proven can reverse arterial plaque and restore healthy blood flow. I am presenting these in countdown format. Number 5 is wild-caught fatty fish, particularly salmon, mackerel, sardines, and herring. Do you know what happens when you consume these omega-3 rich fish? Within hours, omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA begin circulating in your bloodstream. These powerful compounds reduce inflammation throughout your entire cardiovascular system. A comprehensive analysis published in European Journal of Preventive Cardiology in 2024 found that EPA formulations specifically reduce atherosclerotic plaque. The CHERRY study followed patients with coronary artery disease and found that high-dose EPA significantly reduced coronary plaque volume over 18 months. Another meta-analysis in 2025 examining data from 19 cohorts found that EPA and DHA were each independently associated with reduction in fatal coronary heart disease risk. Key benefits include reduced triglycerides, stabilization of existing plaque making it less likely to rupture, decreased blood clotting tendency, and improved endothelial function. Here is exactly how to use this food. Eat fatty fish 3 times per week. A serving is about 4 ounces, roughly the size of your palm. Choose wild-caught when possible. Bake, broil, or grill your fish. Never fry it. What to expect? Within 2 weeks, many people notice improved energy. Within 3 months, blood work typically shows reduced triglycerides and improved cholesterol ratios. Number 4 is dark leafy greens, especially spinach, arugula, kale, and collard greens. Do you know what happens when you eat these vegetables? They are loaded with compounds called nitrates. When you chew and swallow leafy greens, bacteria in your mouth and gut convert these beneficial nitrates into nitric oxide. This is absolutely crucial for arterial health. Nitric oxide signals your blood vessels to relax and dilate. This improves blood flow, lowers blood pressure, and creates a slip perisurface inside arteries that prevents plaque from adhering. A study published in Nutrients in 2024 found that consumption increases nitric oxide bioavailability, lowers blood pressure, and improves endothelial function. Research followed over 50,000 participants for 23 years and found that people consuming the most nitrate-rich vegetables had significantly lower rates of cardiovascular disease. Just 1 cup of nitrate-rich vegetables daily was associated with 2.5 millimeters lower systolic blood pressure and 12 to 26% lower heart disease risk. Here is exactly how to use this food. Eat at least 2 cups of raw leafy greens or 1 cup cooked daily. Add raw spinach to smoothies. Saute kale with garlic and olive oil as a side dish. What to expect? Many people notice improved energy within the first week. Blood pressure often begins dropping within 2 weeks. Number 3 is berries, particularly blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries. Do you know what happens when you consume these colourful fruits? They are packed with compounds called anthocyanins and polyphenols, which are powerful antioxidants that protect your cardiovascular system. When you eat berries, these antioxidants neutralize free radicals that damage artery walls. A review published in Nutrients in 2025 found that blueberry interventions have been consistently associated with improvements in endothelial function and arterial stiffness. Research from multiple clinical trials found that regular berry consumption improved flexibility and function of blood vessel walls. A 2016 study published in Nature found that berries display a wide range of biological activities in lowering cardiovascular disease risk. Key benefits include reduced oxidation of LDL cholesterol, improved cholesterol levels, decreased arterial stiffness, and reduced systemic inflammation. Studies found that eating 1 cup of blueberries daily can reduce heart disease risk factors by up to 15%. Here is exactly how to use this food. Eat at least 1 cup of fresh or frozen berries daily. Add berries to morning oatmeal. Blend berries into smoothies with leafy greens. What to expect? Antioxidant effects begin within hours. Within 2 to 3 weeks, many notice improved mental clarity. Over 3 to 6 months, measurable improvements in cholesterol levels often appear. Number 2 is extra virgin olive oil. Do you know what happens when you use this as your primary fat source? Extra virgin olive oil contains powerful compounds called polyphenols, including Oleocanthal, which has anti-inflammatory effects similar to ibuprofen but without side effects. The landmark CardioPrev study published in Stroke in 2021 examined Mediterranean diet rich in extra virgin olive oil versus low-fat diets. Tea in patients with coronary heart disease. The study followed over 1,000 patients for 7 years and found that long-term consumption of Mediterranean diet rich in extra virgin olive oil was associated with decreased atherosclerosis progression. This was actual reversal of plaque that researchers could measure. Another major study published in The Lancet in 2022 found that Mediterranean diet was better than low-fat diet in preventing cardiovascular recurrence. Key benefits include reduced LDL cholesterol while maintaining HDL good cholesterol, powerful anti-inflammatory effects, and improved endothelial function. Here is exactly how to use this food. Use only extra virgin olive oil, not refined versions. Use 2 to 3 tablespoons daily. Drizzle over vegetables, use in salad dressings or cook at low to medium temperatures. Look for olive oil in dark glass bottles. What to expect? Anti-inflammatory benefits begin within hours. Within 2 to 4 weeks, many notice reduced joint stiffness. Within 3 months, blood work often shows improved cholesterol ratios. And now the number one most powerful meal component for unclogging your arteries is legumes, specifically beans, lentils, and chickpeas. Do you know what happens when you eat these plant proteins regularly? They work through multiple mechanisms simultaneously to reverse arterial damage. Legumes are packed with soluble fiber, plant protein, potassium, magnesium, and polyphenols. When you eat them, soluble fiber binds to cholesterol in your digestive system and carries it out before it can be absorbed. A comprehensive analysis published in The Lancet in 2025 examined plant-based diets for coronary artery disease prevention. The research concluded that dietary patterns rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes are accessible, cost-effective interventions. Evidence consistently demonstrates at plant-based interventions, lower LDL cholesterol, improve endothelial function, reduce inflammatory markers, and decrease blood pressure. A study titled Plant-Based Diet to Reverse Vulnerable Plaque, published in 2024, found that plant-based diets rich in legumes can reverse atherosclerotic plaque and stabilize vulnerable plaque. Key benefits include dramatic LDL cholesterol reduction, improved blood sugar control, increased potassium intake, and gut microbiome improvements. Here is exactly how to use this food. Eat at least 1 cup of cooked legumes daily. Add beans to soups, salads, and grain dishes. Make hummus from chickpeas. Use lentils as a base for vegetable stews. What to expect? Within 1 week, many notice improved digestive regularity. Within 2 to 3 weeks, blood sugar levels often stabilize. Within 2 to 3 months, cholesterol levels typically drop significantly. Here is what makes this powerful when you combine all these foods together. The effects multiply. The omega-3s from fish reduce inflammation. The nitric oxide from leafy greens improves blood vessel function. The antioxidants from berries prevent cholesterol damage. The polyphenols in olive oil protect artery walls. The fiber from legumes removes cholesterol. Working together, these foods create an environment where plaques cannot easily form and existing plaques may actually shrink. Let me give you 3 practical examples. For breakfast, start with oatmeal topped with 1 cup of mixed berries and a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. For lunch, enjoy a large spinach and arugula salad with chickpeas, cherry tomatoes and olive oil, lemon dressing served with lentil soup. For dinner, have baked wild salmon with sautéed kale in olive oil and a side of black beans. Now, I need to give you important warnings. If you are on blood thinners like warfarin, maintain consistent vitamin K intake from leafy greens. Do not dramatically increase greens without talking to your doctor. If you are on blood pressure medication, these dietary changes may lower your blood pressure significantly. Monitor at home and work with your doctor to adjust medications. For seniors with kidney disease, high potassium foods may need to be limited. Always consult your healthcare provider. If you are taking diabetes medication, increased fiber can lower blood sugar. Monitor levels closely and work with your doctor. You now have the knowledge that most seniors never receive. You understand exactly which foods clog your arteries and which foods clean them. Arterial plaque is not inevitable and not irreversible. The power to improve your cardiovascular health is literally in your hands every time you choose what to eat. You do not have to accept chest pain, fatigue, and declining health as normal aging. Your arteries can heal. Your heart can grow stronger. Your energy can return. Comment one of 3 things right now. First, comment ready if you are going to start eating these foods this week. Second, comment fish if you want more information about omega-3 rich fish. Third, comment beans if you want recipe ideas for adding more legumes. If you found this video valuable, click subscribe and turn on notifications. Next week, I am releasing a video on the 5 supplements that actually work for cardiovascular health according to recent studies. Remember, your heart health is not determined by your age or genes alone. Every meal is an opportunity to heal or harm your arteries. Choose wisely. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs this information. You might save their life.